Okay, when you have your file open and you have the right size, then all you need to do is save it. So I'm going to File, Save As. I'm going to make sure I know where it's going. I want it to be in the same folder as my actual project because I'm going to be sharing the library assets, and this is easiest to do when you have them in the same location. I'm going to call this Sunset. I'm going to say Save. Now I want to draw a rectangle that is the same size as the stage. First I'm going to make sure I don't have a stroke, so the red line means no stroke color. I'm going to draw a rectangle. I'm not going to be very careful about the size, but I'm going to select it. I know where it is. And then I am going to use the Align palette to align to stage and make it match width and height. So you see it's right here. Make sure that Align to Stage is selected, and then click on that. It's the same size as the stage. Now I can align it to the left edge and the top edge, and now it's exactly the same size and shape as the stage. Now I want to apply a Radial Gradient. I use that with the fill color. Come down to the bottom, you see here's a Radial Gradient from black to white. And now I want to make sure that I have the Gradient Transform tool selected. I'm going to drag the white dot up to near the upper corner. That's going to be where the sun is. This is the sun. And now I'm going to edit. I'm going to edit the gradient colors. Click on the palette, color palette up here. Come down to the black dot underneath your bar and select that. And you want to change that to more of a blue hue. So make sure you have hue selected. And that looks like a good one. And now I'm going to choose a color for the sky. That looks like a good sky blue. Now if I come down below the bar and select about 1/2 to 2/3 towards the right and click underneath the bar, I've put in a new stop and I can drag that close to the white stop. And that creates a hot spot. Now before you do anything else, Command S to save. And now make sure you still have the Gradient Transform tool selected. And come down to the last frame you want to have in this completed sunset. I want frame 240. I'm going to click on 240. And now I'm going to press F6 to duplicate that first frame. So now I have a second keyframe. On this keyframe, I want to use my Gradient Transform tool, come up, grab that dot again and drag it down. This will create the change in the shape. It will make the color go from one side to the other. And in between here, there isn't anything happening yet. First we're going to change the colors in the gradient. So I'm going to come here. I'm going to select the darker stop, which is on the far right hand side, and I'm going to make it a very deep blue. I'm going to come to this middle stop. I'm going to make that also a deep blue. But I'm also going to drag it up towards sort of a purple color. And then I'm going to come to this one, and this one I'm going to make more of a reddish pink, maybe an orange. Now if I right click and create a Shape Tween, you get a really nice looking sunset. I think I'm going to go and make this middle stop here more pink. There we go. So Command S to save and Command return so you can see the results of what you've just done. Okay, now that you have your sunset, you want to get that into your other file. So first, I'm going to make sure the file you want to put it into. So I'm going to open up this. And this is just, you remember what I had set up here. So I'm going to go ahead and put this into here. I'm going to use it. Here's my background layer. If I just go ahead and unlock that, then that is what it would look like. This is just a shape right now. So I want to go ahead and make that into a symbol. And I'm just going to call this background because that's what it was. And it's a graphic and it really doesn't matter as long as I know that I've got it set up as a symbol. And now I'm going to save this again, Command S. Here's my sunset. I'm going to right click on layer 1. I'm going to copy layer. And then I'm going to come over to the library. I'm going to create a new symbol. And I'm going to make it a movie clip symbol. And I'm going to call this sunset. I'm going to click on this keyframe. You have to make sure you click on it or it won't work. I'm going to come to Edit, Timeline, Paste Layers, and it puts that all in there. So now it is in a library symbol. Now, since I have these both open, I can come to Library, and here you see there's this interesting icon, New Library Panel. Click on that, and now you can select Sunset as the source, and see here's the sunset in my library. And I will drag it over and drop it into this library. Now I can close this library. So now I have sunset there. Now I'm going to come to this background and I'm going to swap it using this in Properties, Swap. I'm going to swap it with Sunset. And now get rid of the keyframes from the storyboard. So that would be this. Yeah. So I'm just going to turn off these. So you can see it, I'll have to play it here on this in the authoring environment, but and there you have it.